Stormbringer magazine, issue 73, The Odd Boys. Come and have a go if you think you're odd enough. Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games, and today we're doing issue 73 of our continuing series of Hachette Collection's Stormbringer magazine with painted minis. Now in this issue you get 10 Uruk Ard Boys, which are quite literally do exactly what they say on the tin, but you also do get some little bit of interesting lore. So you have some more information on the Realm of Fire, but more particularly on the type of equipment that the cities of Sigmar faction would bring to war. Some very interesting stuff here, and you get to see some little aspects here as well from the different cities that go to battle. So you have the Hammerhal Akusha, the Tempest Eye, and the Hallowheart. So the Hammerhal Akusha would be the city of industry and the city of war, so they would have kind of rudimentary guns. The Tempest Eye would include the Sky Dwarfs and is located in the Titan Spear Mountain and is a bulwark against threats in the skies. And the Hallowheart would be perched atop a towering spire of basalt that rises from the shimmering abyss and has a deep tradition of mining. So its real power, however, is magic, and Hallowheart is as much of a city of learning and of martial magic as it is a city of mining. So nice little lore there. We have some little aspects again for the Uruk Ard Boys. So these guys would be more, orcs would be worship Gork and Mork. So one is brutal and the other's cunning, and the other's cunning and the other was brutal. These boys are more towards brutal than cunning. So they're clad in very thick plates of armor that they literally punch into shape themselves, and where they just attack the opponents by literally going straight in up to their faces. You have a little bit here where you can roll the dice to see what the boys' background is, some of their chosen tactics, and some of their great deeds. So you can do a nice little bit of history here with the Uruk Ard Boys. You have the how to build guide. Now, there is two ways to build them. You have fellas with choppers and fellas with stickers. So if you buy 2 issues, you could easily make up 2 different units of these guys. Now the instructions here only show the actual stickers, which would be the spears. But nevertheless, it's not. You could easily look up online how to build the choppers, which would be the small little sword types, or even just guess it yourself from the way that the models are put together. You have a how to paint guide again, which of course is elaborate because we have a lot of paints at this stage. And you have here the stats for the Uruk Ard Boys. So they're slow movers, they've only 4-inch movement, a 3-inch save, and the main difference between the stickers and the choppers is that the choppers have a range of only 1 inch and the stickers have a range of 2 inches. Now, the other thing is that if you do a charge with the stickers, you get an increased rend characteristic of 1. So instead of rend -1, it'd be rend -2 if you manage to charge in with that phase. So the stickers, which is what the magazine tells you how to build, is slightly better. You also have the shield bash, which is every time this unit fights, after all its attacks have been resolved, pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of this unit and roll a die for each model in this unit within 1 inch of it. These die rolls are referred to as shield bash rolls, so for a 6+, an enemy suffers a mortal wound because your man just clocks him with the shield. You have a War Scroll tutorial on how to use the lads, and you have, of course, the battle plan, which is the last stand ambush at Brute's Tomb Bluff, and the spoils of war again at the end. Now this is quite a good magazine because it's a very good value one because you get a lot of minis in it. So the Ard Boys, I have to say, were fun to build and to paint. I'm not mad about the colour scheme of the actual Iron Jaws. I don't like the yellow colour scheme, but the rest of it comes out really well. I mean, the hand-beaten armour with the metallic aspect looks really nice. I really like the way the armour shape comes out. I stuck with yellow because that just seems to be what's typical for the Iron Boys, but that doesn't mean that you can't paint it any colour that you like. So, I mean, if I was to do it again and not have this, I would nearly put it all metallic and just do a dry brush over the entire armour, because the green itself is enough to make them stand out, but they're fairly scary looking fellas and they're all covered in really kind of hideous face masks. So they would give you a kind of a Glasgow kiss or a headbutt, which would do serious damage to you. But again, really nice minis, really nice to put together. And I mean, some of them are fantastic. The shields are great because they have kind of teeth going in at the side. You have, of course, the plates in the front and the back, but they are very rudimentary armor. You can see it that they've just kind of slapped together the most basic armor, but that I think only makes them look all the more intimidating. And there's great variety in them as well because, like I said, I built them with the stickers, which is obviously the spears, but you can build the lads again with swords as well. So we have here one fella now who would have more of a chopper than a sticker. So obviously he has the axe, but there's also kind of, they look like sabers from pirates, but again, another really cool kind of mini, and they're in fantastic poses. There's nothing, every single model is different, and you have a different kind of pose, a different kind of horde mentality, but they really look nice, and they were fun to build. The yellow armor took a bit of doing because you're working with Flash gets yellow as the layer paint, and you're working with Everland Sunset as the base, and you do need a couple of colors of base just to kind of cover it all up. But otherwise, it's these are really fun models, and if you have your own color scheme for them or a color scheme that you like, they look class. I mean, this guy as well, again, he's ready for battle. The shield is out, you know, and you can see that they don't skimp on the detail on the inside either. That for all the other fellas, like the shield is down a little bit. The Games Workshop, being Games Workshop, every single aspect is there. So it's again a pretty cool little model, again with a kind of a hideous face mask. And the other thing I should say is that both the spears and the faces are interchangeable, so you can kind of, if you bought 2 or 3 versions of this issue, you could mix up the bodies quite easily and swap the weapons around and have a lot of unique models. So it's very good value in that aspect. Again, the same thing here. This guy is just basically roaring at them, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough type of job. But again, you know, just beautiful models, really nice, you know, fun to paint, and because they're big as well, they're actually slightly easier to put a little bit of detail on it. They're not finite like, say, the gnomes or the dwarves. Like, they're big models, they're broad, so you don't have to be 100% precise with your brush all the time to get through it. Now, this guy is the standard bearer, as you can see here, and you actually get 2 standard bearers. So one had this kind of cool little orc skull on top of it. The other one is just kind of more a mingling of weapons. So this was the cooler looking one, but nevertheless, again, if you wanted 2 different standard bearers, you have the options for 2 different standards for them to bear for their unit. We have here another fella here, again, you know, looking out, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough, and he's got a nice little brass nose ring as well on his face. So I mean, again, just fun to paint, you know. And there was, I quite enjoyed it because there was great variety in them, so it didn't feel like it was a batch paint that you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It was kind of, it was refreshing in how that they all kind of came out into a brand new shape or to a kind of a brand new dynamic, or each had their own kind of distinct little personality. I mean, this guy has the nose ring, but his spear also has the little ring as well. So just cool little things like that. We have another here, another fella, an Iron Jaw, which for some reason, instead of having the spear out, he has the spear up. So why he's doing that, I don't know, because normally fellas would have the spear going forward, but nevertheless, if he's lost in the battlefield, I suppose he's the easiest one to find with the spears taken up. But again, a pretty cool little model, ready for battle, ready for action. Maybe he's about to throw it, who knows. We have another fella here who's just literally after doing a lunge. So again, a really cool little model, and very gladiatorial as well. Like, these shields, they wear them like bucklers, that they're really closely kind of attached to them, but they cover the entire arm. So I mean, a proper shield job. And again, a little spike here as well for the shield bash mechanic that you would have in the models and the units themselves. Just really nice stuff. And again, you know, the yellow is, you're not tied to the yellow, it's your toy, your model. You do whatever you want with them. And we have here the final guy again, who is a fellow who's basically ready for action. And again, a really cool, hideous, grim little mask. You know, just very unique models, all different, really cool little things. And you know, I quite liked the Oruks. I prefer the Oruks, but the quality of these Iron Boys, I have to say, would make me give them another look, because there was some really nice, fun little elements here to paint and make and put together. And you know, and they stand out, like they're meaty lads. It's like they don't give the impression of being a pushover in any way, shape or form. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was issue 73. The one last thing I forgot to cover was that there's a core tactics pull-out guide as well that's included in the magazine, just giving a little bit of what's there. But of course, the main thing for these videos for me is the minis themselves, and in this issue in particular, I have to say they were fantastic. So as always, this is Sean from The Lucky Roll. If you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, this is Sean signing off.